What up, World? We're 18, back at it again. Welcome to the episode. If you watch the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you know the switch. One season, Aunt Viv was bold and fiery. The next, softer, quieter, light-skinned. Today, we're talking about Daphne Maxwell Reid, the new Aunt Vivian, how she changed the show, and why it never felt quite the same. So this is part 2 of the video. Go back and watch part 1 when I talk about the original Aunt Viv and how much she was so good and how much I loved her in the first 3 seasons of Fresh Prince. So this video is going to be talking about the new Aunt Vivian and how she changed the show and how it wasn't quite the same when she came. She wasn't as funny. She wasn't a strong female role, and she was pretty much a side character. She was not really in the show as much as the original Aunt Viv was. Let me know what you think in the comments. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. You are now watching The Switch. When Daphne Maxwell Reid joined the show in season 4, the Fresh Prince took on a different tone. She wasn't bad, she was just different. Her Aunt Viv was warmer, calmer, more of a background mom than a voice of authority. The fire and intensity were gone, replaced with peace and balance. For some fans that worked, for others it felt like the soul of the show had dimmed a little bit.
Honey, you spent $300 on a seance?
Not on the seance, for the seance. I need a new hat. The $1,000 Scorpius is charging. I just put on Daddy's gold card.
I did not like the change at all. She, in my opinion, brought down the show. She made the show just like every other show, where you have the father who's all in charge and the mom just there making dinner, making sure the kids go off to school. She had no voice, and I truly hated that they did that. I noticed it immediately. From the first episode on, it was not the same show, and I didn't like it. Although I still continued to watch The Fresh Prince, I did not like anytime Aunt Viv, the new Aunt Viv, came on the show. I did not like it. I didn't like anything she said. I didn't like her corny jokes. Nothing she said was funny to me. It was so maddening. The character change. The new Aunt Viv became more of a background character. Rarely the focus in the episode, rarely raising her voice. She played her role with grace and class, but the fiery independence of Janet Hubert's version was gone.
Beautiful home, you are a very lucky woman. Excuse me, I have to go check on our baby.
The shift made sense in the sitcom world. Will Starflower was growing, and the show leaned more comedy than social commentary. But it also meant losing the balance. The show became the Will Smith show, and Aunt Viv was now just a friendly presence instead of a commanding one. So, like I said, you can definitely tell a shift in the show's tone. You can definitely tell the way the show wanted to go. It wanted to be like every other TV show that came out before it. And I guess it wanted to shut down the black woman's voice, in my opinion. I don't think that the show wanted any of that anymore. They didn't want a strong black woman on the show anymore, although they still had both of the girls, both of the daughters on the show, but they didn't really have a voice either. So the show just went a totally different direction, and they muted Aunt Viv pretty much. They made her just like everyone else, which definitely, I think it brought down ratings. Although it was still one of the highest ratings on the show, it consistently got worse every season. Why she was recast. I went over this in the first video, but there's a little more that I wanted to talk about on why she was recast. So the original reason for the recast was creative differences and contract issues. But the truth is, there was real tension between Janet Hubert and Will Smith. Janet felt she was being treated unfairly and refused to sign a contract that limited her income and schedule. Will, on the other hand, was young, confident, and in the spotlight, and the two clashed hard. In interviews, Will admitted years later that he handled it poorly at the time, and the media painted Janet as difficult, and she lost her role.
And they said it was you who banished me with your words. You know, words can kill. I lost everything. Reputation. Everything. You know those words, calling a black woman difficult. In Hollywood, it's the kiss of death. It's the kiss of death, and it's hard enough being a dark-skinned black woman.
It was a tough, painful ending for an actress who gave the show its edge. So, like I said in the first video, they just had beef. They didn't like each other. Janet, her time was being cut and her pay was being cut. And who the fuck wants to get pay cut? And Will signed off on all of that. And I guess she found out, and that made her even more upset. And so they had this whole long-going beef back and forth for years until they reconciled in that HBO Max show, like I said, reunion show, like I said. So if you want to watch that interview, it was a pretty good interview actually between the whole cast. And they really went into what really caused the breakup of both of them and caused her exit from the show. And like I said in the first video, they apologized to each other and hugged it out and all that shit. So it's all good, but that doesn't make up for lost income and being kicked off a popular show in the end. How the show changed. After the recast, the Fresh Prince became more about jokes, romance, and Will's growing life. The social issues, race, class, identity took a backseat to pure comedy. Uncle Phil became the main voice of wisdom.
I think you'll make a great father. I mean, everybody makes mistakes with their kids. The important thing is to admit when you're wrong and to apologize. How come you'll never do that? Don't question me.
And Aunt Viv's power faded into the background. She was still respected, but she wasn't feared. Fans noticed she was calmer, lighter in tone, and even lighter in the skin.
You know, Miss Banks, since you had that baby, there's something different about you.
And that change stood out in a show known for representation. So, there's an ongoing feud between light-skinned people and dark-skinned people in the black community. I don't know if it's a feud, but I know that was the first thing I noticed as a kid. I was like, why did they take away the black Aunt Viv for the light-skinned Aunt Viv? And I didn't understand it as a kid, so a lot of people made that commentary. They wanted to get rid of the darker woman because people like light-skinned women more, and they're more acceptable to the white public if they wanted to get that audience. And also the political shit and the way that she had an African-American class and they was doing political shit and talk about real views. All that shit went away when Janet Hubert went away. When they went to the new Aunt Viv, none of that stuff ever came up again in the show. They had a couple episodes about race, a couple episodes about drunk driving or whatever.
But I did everything. I cooked, I cleaned, I hand washed the toilets, everything your butler does for you. I'm not accepting no prep school Bel-Air bred sellout into my fraternity. You think I'm a sellout? Why? Because I live in a big house where I dress a certain way? Or maybe it's because I like Barry Manilow. Being black isn't what I'm trying to be, it's what I am. I'm running the same race and jumping the same hurdles you are, so why are you tripping me up? You said we need to stick together, but you don't even know what that means. If you ask me, you're the real sellout.
But none of the episodes moving forward were really serious anymore. They were all slapstick comedy and over-the-top humor and shit.
Yeah. Oh, so I guess we're going down, huh? Oh, so I should probably just confess all the nasty things I've done with your daughter, huh? Especially seeing
And the new Aunt Viv was just there. She was just, like I said, a background character. And that really sucked for a show that was going in a different direction, that switched it and just became one of the other shows, The Will Smith and the Other. That's what that ended up called, The Will Smith and the Others. And that's what the show became when she left. Looking back, both Aunt Vivs are part of the show's legacy. But for me, and a lot of fans, the original Vivian was way better. She gave the show depth, power, and culture. Daphne Maxwell Reid kept the family dynamic tight and steady. But Janet Hubert commanded it. She was a backbone, strong, fearless, and full of truth. And even though Hollywood politics got in the way, the character she created still defines what Aunt Viv means to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Two Aunt Vivs, two eras, but only one left a mark that can never be replaced. Nobody remembers the new Aunt Viv. That's like the new fucking Harriet in Family Matters. Who the fuck was that? And it's funny because they replaced her with a light-skinned lady too. That's crazy. But the original Aunt Viv was a strong black woman with a strong career and strong views. And they took that away and replaced her with pretty much a mute. The cookie cutter wife that most of these TV sitcoms have. And I never got over it.
You forgive me?
I always do, don't I?
You don't have to sleep on the chaise lounge tonight.
I don't?
You can sleep on your couch. And have a talk with this young man, please.
And the original Aunt Viv will always be my Aunt Viv, is all I'm saying in the end. When a new Aunt Viv arrived, the show changed. And whether you loved her or missed the original, it became a different kind of Fresh Prince. Janet Hubert gave us fire and strength. Daphne Maxwell-Reid gave us charm and heart. Two women, two eras, but both part of TV history. But for me, the first version of Aunt Viv will always be the one to define the show's soul. If you remember watching that switch and feeling like something changed, you're not alone. Hit like if you agree, drop a favorite Aunt Viv moment in the comments, and subscribe for more breakdowns of the shows that shaped our childhood. That's gonna do it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys for giving me 5-10 minutes of your time. You can go to anybody else's channel and you decided to watch mine. There's only 24 hours in a day. And I'm glad you gave me a couple minutes of yours, and I hope I didn't waste it because time is very valuable. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know in the comments what you think about the video. If you like it, if you hate it, I don't give a fuck. That's gonna do it for the video. Have a good one. I'll get to you guys on the next one. Later.